Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Emma Lefebvre, and today we're going to be painting a watercolor and gouache flower field. Let's get started. Okay, so today we're going to do a little flower scenery thing. I just kind of randomly got inspired to do it by some colors that were already in my palette, this like purple and red and orange kind of deal. And so I thought that I would paint some sort of flower field because I haven't really done that before. So I have my Arches cold press watercolor paper taped down. I have my Winsor Newton professional watercolors. I have my paper towel, my water, and I'm gonna use my Emma Lefebvre Craftimo brushes. So I have my mop brush, or it's an oval wash brush. I also have my size 12 round, and I have my size 6 round. I also might use my smaller size 2, but we'll see. And there's a chance that I might use gouache with this too. I haven't decided yet. We're going to kind of just play around and see how it goes. But the first thing I want to do is create just a blue sky at the top. And I'm just going to use some of this Winsor blue that I have to create a light blue sky. It's going to be a little bit darker towards the top. And then I'm just going to move it down about 3/4 of the way. Just wetting the whole page, or most of the page. And I'm going to add some more color. Okay, like this. Now we're going to go back in with more color. Okay. Just going to try and do a gradient of it being more pigmented at the top and then slowly move it down to make it lighter towards, where it's going to meet the flowers, which I didn't do, but I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to try and move all of this pigment down, then go back up and try and push that darker pigment up to the top. Just keep going back and forth. Maybe grab a bit more, put it there. Keep bringing it down a bit till it's nice and light, like that. Make it a little bit darker at the top again. Trying to create that nice, somewhat gradient of darker to light. I'm gonna wash off my brush, dry it a bit, try and make it a little bit lighter. Okay, like that. Okay, so there is our sky, and we're gonna let that dry, and then we will come right back and start doing our flowers. Okay, so like I said, I'm kind of winging this, and I realize I want to do some out of focus flowers in the background. So in order to do that, I need the background a bit more wet. So I think I'm gonna do another layer of the blue sky, just because it also dries a lot lighter than I want it. So I'm going to add more blue, and then I'm going to, while it's wet, add some flowers in the background to make it somewhat blurry, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just wetting up the background again. Like so. Okay. Grabbing some more color, making it a bit more pigmented, just darker towards the top. I want it to be a brighter blue. Moving it down like so. Okay. It's pretty good. All right, now, while it's still wet, I'm going to take my size 6 brush and I'm going to start dropping in some little color of the flowers. So I'm going to grab this like purpley color, and I'm hoping this is going to do what I want it to do. I'm not actually sure. I'm kind of hoping. I'm just going to drop the color in like so. These are going to be flowers in the background. Grab some red. Oh, it's a little bit darker than I wanted. And I'm just kind of alternating colors. Get some orange. That had too much water in it, but that's okay. I'm gonna grab some just cadmium orange. I'm gonna grab some yellow. Definitely gonna go back in with some more purple. I'm really hoping this turns out, and if it doesn't, it will show you that I don't always know what I'm doing. And sometimes when I try things out for the first time, they really don't work out, so we'll see. I want more pink in there, that pinky purple. I'm also trying to cover up any blue in here. So what I also might do is grab some, it's already starting to dry here, so I'm just going to wet it up. I'm going to add some water down here. Some pink. I'm just kind of alternating. I got some lemon yellow, I got some cadmium yellow, orange, red. And then I'm going to take some green. So let's do some sap green. And I'm just going to do some little stems, but because it's wet, it's going to be blurry. So I'm just doing little lines throughout. Trying to have more paint than water on my brush for this, so it's more pigmented than like water, so you don't get those watermarks. Just doing some dots, like there's some leaves. Remember, we want it out of focus. I had too much water, that's okay. Gonna grab some green, some more green. Just do a light wash down here so we can get some of that stem-ish area going. The background's gonna be green down here. We will have some closer up flowers, but I feel like I might use gouache for that. So I don't actually know yet what I'm doing. But just follow along and maybe my mistake will become a beautiful mistake for you too. Or not a beautiful mistake, and that's fine. But I'm sure you'll see by the thumbnail of this video if it worked out or not. I'm gonna grab some darker green, just make it a bit darker down below. I'm going to try and, more sap green. I'm going to try and tap some more green in there. that. And I might just hit up some more spots with some green and then some more flowers before this completely dries. It's already starting to dry, but it's not too dry yet because I've been going over it. Okay, let's grab some more color. And try not to have too much pigment on your brush because that's when it starts to like spread out, and then it will push the pigment away, which happens to me sometimes. Oh my gosh, I'm putting my whole head in here, aren't I? Of course. Get some more pink. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna let this completely dry and then we will come right back. Okay, so now that that's dry, we're gonna do some sharper flowers. And like I said, I probably am gonna go over this with gouache. But I think I'm gonna do a second layer. So we're doing wet on dry with watercolor. So we have some sharper flowers here. But then we're going to have even more detailed flowers closer to the front in gouache. And the reason why I'm going to do gouache is because you can paint over any color, right? You can go from dark to light with gouache. So I'm just kind of setting in some more color or flowers here. Let's get, and I think I'm going to do some stems here and grass with watercolor and then go over with gouache too. So I'm just grabbing some green, and it doesn't matter that we're going green here and we're going to have flowers over top because, like I said, gouache is opaque and you can go dark to light. And I'm just using the tip of my brush and really, really light pressure and doing like a flicking kind of motion to get these really light lines. And then I'm going to go over with darker green too, I think. And then maybe even lighter green with the gouache. I don't know. Let's do a couple leaves. Grab our darker green. And just keep going. How do you know when you're done? I have no idea. Sorry if this is not helpful. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to grab a bit more pigment. Just do a couple more. I don't even know what kind of flowers these are, to be honest. Like that. Okay, and then we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to get out our gouache and come right back. All right, so for this, I am going to be using my Himi gouache set. It's a set of 24 colors. I do have a separate tutorial on this if you are interested. Just look up Emma Lefebvre, gouache, and you'll find it. All right, so here is my gouache. Okay, trying to figure out how I can do this where you guys can see. So I'm going to try and mix my colors. So I want to do pinks. Okay, I'm going to also change brushes because I don't want to use my watercolor brushes for this. I'm going to use this etcher brush I have. Okay, so we have pinks and purples. So let's use this pink. And the great thing about gouache is that you can reactivate it with water, right? So maybe I'll do like a flower here. It's a very bubblegum pink. I feel like I'd like it to be a bit more opaque as well. So I'm going to grab a bunch of white. Gouache is something I'm still, like, honestly, personally figuring out. Like, I feel like I can never get the consistency right. It's still pretty, like, light. I don't know. I'm still doing these messy kind of flowers. They're like kind of like poppies, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, you can overlap over darker colors, which is why gouache is so great, but I feel like I have to use a bit more pigment to do this. So I might have to grab some more paint. Let me just try and use what we've got here. Actually, hold on. I'm going to grab some more white. Add a bit more water to it. Do some yellow. Maybe get a bit of darker yellow here. Let's do some like oranges. Do like a purple. I want a purple color. I'm gonna grab this like lavendery purple, mix it a bit with the pink here. I feel like I'm gonna have to do a second coat with these because it's not as opaque, but I just don't think I'm using enough paint. Let's grab a little bit of like this bright red. Yeah, I think I might have too much water. I think that's what my trouble is with gouache, is that I'm so used to using like a higher water ratio that it just feels weird to lay on paint so thick. And I'm just not always confident in what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Yeah, because you can still kind of see through the gouache. So I think I have to go thicker. But either way, this is not like a realistic painting or anything, so I don't really have to worry too much. It is what it is. We're just having fun here. We're experimenting. Right? Let's get more of that yellow. Try to do another coat. Yeah, it's too watery. Oops. So yeah, if you've experimented with gouache or you're pretty good at gouache painting, let me know what consistency you think I need to work on or what I should be doing to get the desired look that maybe you think I'm trying to go for. Because I don't even know. I'm definitely more of a watercolor artist. Or just also I'm more familiar with it, right? With lots of practice and like if I were to follow others' tutorials and really learn about it, I think I could get it a lot easier. But I haven't followed others' tutorials on this yet, so that might be a goal of mine to learn properly how to paint with gouache. I'm just going to create a light green here. Add a bit more water. It's too close to the background color, so maybe more white. Yeah, it's still pretty close to that background color. Maybe I also need a different green. I want more of a natural color of green, so I'm going to do, that's blue. Hold on. I still think it looks pretty cool. It's like super colorful and I'm digging that. Get some brown. And we can just layer on some more. What's it called? Stems here. I feel like this red is too thick. I'm going to try and thin it out so it dries a bit better. Maybe bring some of that paint over here. Okay. Oops. Don't know why I went yellow there. That's okay. All right. Let's get some more stems going. Then maybe get some lighter stems. Add just a bit of white. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to let that dry and then we will come and do just a little bit more detail on the flowers and the center of the flowers. All right, so now I'm gonna do some like little lines on the flowers. So I wanna go like a shade darker and maybe also a shade lighter to get some highlights. So for the pink ones, I'm gonna take this darker pink and I'm gonna do some tiny little lines like that. But I'm also gonna do some white highlights, I think, too. And then for the red, there's a darker red in my palette here. So I can just use that color. I actually think I like the way this is turning out. I didn't know if I would, but I think I do. Keywords, think. Still don't know how it's gonna end up. This would actually be a fun poppy field of like just like the red flowers too, with the gouache. Maybe these are poppies. I don't know. Do they look like poppies? Kind of, right? I think. Grab some darker purple. And then yellows. So let's maybe use an orange. Need to go darker. Maybe even darker with that like reddish orange. And then I'm going to get some white. So I have some white in my palette down here. Just adding water to it. And then just kind of, I don't know, add a highlight somehow. At the tips. I actually kind of like it. I feel like there could be like some green buds. I'm gonna grab this like neon green. Mix it a bit with that natural green that we made. And just kind of pop some bright green in there. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe even some darker, where's black? Some darker green. And then I'll add some highlights on those too. Like that. And while we're waiting for those to dry, well, let's do the center of these flowers, which I think I'm going to do with this like dark blue. So I guess they're kind of like poppies or maybe anemones. So just doing like a jaggedy circle in the middle and then tiny little dots around. And the reason why I'm not doing black centers is just because I think the blue kind of just still adds a little bit more color to it rather than making it like a flat black. But it also gives that contrast of being really, really nice and dark. And then maybe some light little dots in some of the others. I don't know. And it looks kind of cool. Maybe add a little bit of green to this white. Wanted to, here, on some of those darker ones, I'm gonna just add a little detail line on some of them. I don't even know if that made a difference. That made a difference. I think that's pretty good. Okay, let's take off the tape and see what it looks like. And there we go. I think it looks kind of cool. It's something that oh, where did that pink come from? Oh, lovely. It's something that I've never done before and never really tried, so I think that is actually pretty cool. And was a lot of fun to do. So maybe I just need to kind of just step out of my comfort zone sometimes and just try new things because I think it looks really cute and that was a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.